The Negro's Loyalty to the Stars and Stripes, delivered at the Thanksgiving Peace Jubilee Exercises, Chicago, October 16, 1898, by Booker T. Washington. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, on an important occasion in the life of the Master, when it fell to him to pronounce judgment on two courses of action, these memorable words fell from his lips, "And Mary hath chosen the better part." This was the supreme test in the case of an individual. It is the highest test in the case of a race or nation. Let us apply this test to the American Negro. In the life of our republic, when he has had the opportunity to choose, has it been the better or worse part? When, in the childhood of this nation, the Negro was asked to submit to slavery or choose death and extinction, as did the Aborigines, he chose the better part, that which perpetuated the race. When, in 1776, the Negro was asked to decide between British oppression and American independence, we find him choosing the better part, and Crispus Attucks, a Negro, was the first to shed his blood on State Street, Boston, that the white American might enjoy liberty forever, though his race remained in slavery. When, in 1814, at New Orleans, the test of patriotism came again, we find the Negro choosing the better part, and General Andrew Jackson himself testifying that no heart was more loyal and no arm more strong and useful in defense of righteousness. When the long and memorable struggle came between union and separation, when he knew that victory on the one hand meant freedom and defeat on the other his continued enslavement, with a full knowledge of the portentous meaning of it all, when the suggestion and the temptation came to burn the home and massacre wife and children during the absence of the Master in battle, and thus ensure his liberty, we find him choosing the better part, and for 4 long years protecting and supporting the helpless, defenseless ones entrusted to his care. When, in 1863, the cause of the Union seemed to quiver in the balance, and there was doubt and distrust, the Negro was asked to come to the rescue in arms, and the valor displayed at Fort Wagner and Port Hudson and Fort Pillow testify most eloquently again that the Negro chose the better part. When, a few months ago, the safety and honor of the Republic were threatened by a foreign foe, when the wail and anguish of the oppressed from a distant isle reached his ears, we find the Negro forgetting his own wrongs, forgetting the laws and customs that discriminate against him in his own country, and again we find our black citizen choosing the better part. And if you would know how he deported himself in the field at Santiago, apply for answer to Shafter and Roosevelt and Wheeler. Let them tell how the Negro faced death and laid down his life in defense of honor and humanity. And when you have gotten the full story of the heroic conduct of the Negro in the Spanish-American War, heard it from the lips of Northern soldiers and Southern soldiers, from ex-abolitionists and ex-masters, then decide within yourselves whether a race that is thus willing to die for its country should not be given the highest opportunity to live for its country. In the midst of all the complaints of suffering, in the camp and field, suffering from fever and hunger, where is the official or citizen that has heard a word of complaint from the lips of a black soldier? The only request that has come from the Negro soldier has been that he might be permitted to replace the white soldier when heat and malaria began to decimate the ranks of the white regiment, and to occupy at the same time the post of greatest danger. This country has been most fortunate in her victories. She has twice measured arms with England and has won. She has met the spirit of rebellion within her borders and was victorious. She has met the proud Spaniard, and he lies prostrate at her feet. All this is well. It is magnificent. But there remains one other victory for Americans to win, a victory as far-reaching and important as any that has occupied our Army and Navy. We have succeeded in every conflict except the effort to conquer ourselves in the blotting out of racial prejudices. We can celebrate the era of peace in no more effectual way than by a firm resolve on the part of Northern men and Southern men, black men and white men, that the trenches which we together dug around Santiago shall be the eternal burial place of all that which separates us in our business and civil relations. Let us be as generous in peace as we have been brave in battle. Until we thus conquer ourselves, I make no empty statement when I say that we shall have, especially in the southern part of our country, a cancer gnawing at the heart of the Republic that shall one day prove as dangerous as an attack from an army without or within. In this presence, and on this auspicious occasion, I want to present the deep gratitude of nearly 10 millions of my people to our wise, patient, and brave Chief Executive for the generous manner in which my race has been recognized during this conflict, a recognition that has done more to blot out sectional and racial lines than any event since the dawn of our freedom. I know how vain and impotent is all abstract talk on this subject. In your efforts to rise on stepping stones of your dead selves, we of the black race shall not leave you unaided. We shall make the task easier for you by acquiring property, habits of thrift, economy, intelligence, and character, by each making himself of individual worth in his own community. We shall aid you in this, as we did a few days ago at El Caney and Santiago, when we helped you to hasten the peace we here celebrate. You know us. You are not afraid of us. When the crucial test comes, you are not ashamed of us. We have never betrayed or deceived you. You know that as it has been, so it will be. Whether in war or in peace, whether in slavery or in freedom, we have always been loyal to the Stars and Stripes.